One of the most famous urban legends in Japan is that of the Kuchisake-Onna, also known as the Slit-Mouthed Woman. This legend has been around for centuries, and it has been the inspiration for movies, books, and even video games. The story goes that a woman who was horribly disfigured would walk around with a surgical mask covering her face, asking people if they thought she was beautiful. If they answered no, she would remove the mask and reveal her mutilated face, and ask again. If they answered yes, she would pull out a pair of scissors and cut their mouth to match hers, creating a grotesque smile. The origins of this legend are unclear, but there are a few different versions of the story. One version says that the woman was the wife of a samurai who was unfaithful to her, and as punishment, she was disfigured by her husband. Another version says that she was a jealous mistress who was punished by her lover's wife. In some versions of the story, she was a vengeful spirit who would haunt people who had wronged her in life. Despite the fact that the legend has been around for centuries, it gained renewed popularity in the 1970s, when reports of a woman matching the Kuchisake-Onna's description began to circulate. According to these reports, a woman wearing a surgical mask would approach children and ask them if she was pretty. If they said no, she would remove the mask and chase them with a pair of scissors. This led to a wave of panic across Japan, and many parents kept their children indoors to protect them from the supposed Kuchisake-Onna. In the years since, there have been sporadic reports of sightings of the Kuchisake-Onna, usually around Halloween. These sightings have led to the legend becoming even more popular, with many people believing that the Kuchisake-Onna is a real threat. However, it's worth noting that there has never been any concrete evidence of the Kuchisake-Onna's existence, and it's likely that most sightings are simply the result of mass hysteria. Despite the fact that the Kuchisake-Onna is almost certainly a myth, the legend has had a profound impact on Japanese culture. The image of a woman with a slit mouth has become an iconic part of Japanese horror, and it has been referenced in countless movies, TV shows, and manga. Additionally, the legend has been the subject of academic study, with scholars exploring the ways in which it reflects Japanese fears and anxieties. One possible interpretation of the Kuchisake-Onna legend is that it speaks to Japanese society's obsession with beauty and perfection. The woman in the story is punished for not living up to societal standards of beauty, and her disfigurement is seen as a kind of poetic justice. Additionally, the fact that she targets people who don't find her beautiful suggests that the legend is commenting on the pressure that women in Japan face to conform to narrow beauty standards. Another interpretation of the legend is that it reflects Japan's long history of violence and trauma. The woman in the story is a victim of violence, and her quest for revenge is seen as understandable, if horrifying. Additionally, the fact that the legend has persisted for centuries suggests that it taps into deep-seated cultural fears about violence and revenge. In conclusion, the legend of the Kuchisake-Onna is a fascinating and deeply disturbing urban legend that has had a profound impact on Japanese culture. While the origins of the legend are unclear, it speaks to a number of deep-seated fears and anxieties in Japanese society, including the pressure to conform to beauty standards and the legacy of violence and trauma.